Hey folks, I wanted to show you Conway's Game of Life in MATLAB. I wrote this quite a while back, actually. It's a really neat thing. If you've never looked up Conway's Game of Life, I suggest you Google it. They have plenty of simulators, but I just wanted to code it in MATLAB. So what I do is I make the size of the game 100 by 100, so it's going to be 100 by 100 pixels. And then I use a rand, and then I round it because I want everything to be from 0 to 1. And so if it's less than if the rand function is less than 0.5, it'll be a 0, and if it's over 0.5, it'll be a 1. And so this makes a huge matrix of zeros and ones. So then what I do is I use this built-in function that I wrote called plot tool. It kind of just makes figures look nice, but you don't need to do that if you don't want to. So then I make my axis the size of the game, I clear, and then I use this function called spy. Spy is built in, and basically what spy does, and I'll go ahead and pause it here so you can see. Let's see, did I not like it? Oh, there it is over there. So what spy does is everywhere there's a 1, it draws a dot, and everywhere there's a 0, it does not. So then what I do is I propagate the state vector, or the life vector, if you will. And so what I do is I have some overlap from each side. It looks like my tabbing got all messed up. I think I made this on a different computer, and so all my line bendings are pretty messed up. Let's see. Oop. That's good. Alright, looks good. Alright, so basically what happens is I go through and I spy the life, and then I save this new matrix from the old one. And so I loop through the size of the game. I coded in some overlap in here to make sure that you could actually overlap on each side. But what I do is I basically compute the number of neighbors. So if the current cell that I'm going through, I use a double for loop here, is alive, then what I need to do is check and see if the number of neighbors is less than 2, and if it is, it dies. So any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbor dies, as if caused by underpopulation. Any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation, so basically nothing happens. Any live cell with more than 3 live neighbors dies as if by overcrowding. So again, if the number of neighbors, which I computed here, is over 3, I set that one equal to 0. And then else, basically if the cell is currently dead, any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell as if by reproduction. So if the cell is dead and the number of neighbors is 3, you get new life. And so what I do is I draw now and I pause for a tenth of a second or a hundredth of a second so I can actually see it, and then I just reset the matrix. So when you run it, it's going to pause. I think there's a pause statement. Maybe there's not. Is it running? Error unexpected. Oh, yeah. I accidentally made a typo. So it's not actually going to pause. It's just going to go. So there's Conway's Game of Life in MATLAB. And so you can see some, steady state. I guess those are cyclical states. Here's some steady state situations here. But the whole thing is basically exploding. If you look close, you can see some gliders and whatnot. And there's just a whole community that's been, created by these simple expressions. And so it's all in MATLAB, which I thought was pretty neat, pretty simple to code, I thought. So again, hopefully this will spark you to make some cool simulations as well. Have fun.